there. I'm Katie Slade, author of The Victorious Vagina, How to Beat a Player at His Game and Win at Self-Love. Welcome to my show, and thank you so much for being here today. The purpose of my show is to really help women recognize the importance of self-love. I think over time we have become so beleaguered with being wives and moms and excellent employees and daughters and sisters that we forget that we really need to focus on ourselves and give ourselves enough self-love. I really have a passion for women and for helping women be the best people that they can possibly be. And so with my show, I am going to be focusing on real life topics, real life stories that deal with issues that we face as women that can really create a lot of turmoil for us if we don't handle things properly. Now, in my previous show, I did a piece about AI. And as I mentioned, it's not the AI of the tech world that we're seeing that I'm talking about, but I'm talking about adultery and infidelity. And after doing my previous show, I was reminded of a situation in which an opportunity of adultery came into my life. Of course, it wasn't the one and only. I mean, we're all human, and this is a big part of what we face as we search for love and relationships. But this situation I felt was really worth sharing. So this is a few years ago. I was away on a girls' trip with two of my girlfriends in Key West, Florida. We were having a fantastic time. It was just the three of us, and we were completely devoted to just being there with each other and having a true girls' trip. One morning, I got up earlier than they did and decided to go down to the hotel gym and do a workout. As I was just about finished working out, a gentleman came into the gym, tall, nice looking, said good morning. I responded with a good morning, and then he attempted to have some small talk with me. Well, I was being polite and I answered his questions. And then at one point he asked me if I was there alone. And I said, no, I'm actually on a girls' trip with two of my dear girlfriends. And he said, where are they now? And I said, well, they're up in the room, they're relaxing and so forth. I'm going to be joining them shortly. And he said, well, is there ever any time that you're not with your girlfriends? And I said, that's an odd question, but no, we're here on a girls' trip, so we're spending every moment together. He said, oh, wow. Well, I was hoping that maybe you might get together with me and, we could hang out a little bit. And I said, well, that's definitely not going to happen. I said, and isn't that a wedding ring on your finger? And he said, well, yeah, but you seem like a really nice lady. Nobody has to know. And I said, well, I don't understand what that means, being a really nice lady and no one has to know. But I'll tell you this, I feel sorry for your wife. And I walked away. And as I walked back to our room, I thought to myself, I cannot believe the audacity of this man to actually hit on me within seconds of having met me, but more than that, being a married man at the same hotel that I was staying at with his wife. I was beyond shocked. So I got back to the room. I shared a little bit with the girls. They were dumbfounded, but we got on with our day. We went down to the beach, set out our chaise lounges, got our drinks, made ourselves really comfortable. And as we were lying there and relaxing, I noticed out of the corner of my eye, a family arrive, parents with two very young children. Well, as I looked a little closer, lo and behold, I recognized the husband as the man who just tried to pick me up in the hotel gym. I was amazed. His wife was a beautiful woman, great shape, really lovely, and their kids were so young. They could not have been more than about 3 and 4 years old. I was astonished. So as they got themselves settled, I heard his wife saying, "Oh, wow, I wish I could go out on one of those paddle boats. It looks so relaxing." And his reply was, "Well, I don't know what to tell you because I'm not going and we can't leave the kids. So I really don't have any interest in doing that. Why can't you just relax?" And she said, "Well, that would be a very relaxing thing to do. It's just being out on the water and just paddling around for a while. And it's great exercise as well." So upon hearing this, I decided to approach them and I said, "Hi there. I just overheard you saying that you would really like to take a paddle boat ride. And I'd love to also. So would you like to do it with me?" And she said, "Oh my gosh," with a big smile on her face, "that would be fantastic." Her husband turned and looked at me, realizing who I was, went stone cold in his face. I looked at him and I looked back at her and I said, "I'm Katie. It's nice to meet you. What's your name?" And she said, "Oh, Katie, hi, I'm Laura." And I said, "Laura, such a pleasure to meet you." I said, "So do you want to go now?" She said, "Yeah, sure, that's great. I'm ready. I'm just going to grab my sunscreen." So I said, "Super." So we took off down to the boat and we got in and started paddling away. And I couldn't help but, of course, start asking her some questions. And she expressed that they had been married for 10 years and that their first child was 4 years old. They had just had their second a couple of years after, and that they were the happiest family. And she was just so thrilled to have met him, that they were college sweethearts, and he just swept her off her feet, and they just had a really wonderful and blissful family life. And I said, "Oh, Laura, that is so awesome." I said, "It's really, really super to see people happily married and enjoying life with their children." And she said, "Oh yes, we're from South Carolina and we're a real Southern family, so that's a really important thing for us as far as tradition." I said, "I'm sure I can understand that." And she said, "What about you? Have you ever been married? Do you have kids?" So I said, "Well, I was married. Unfortunately, it ended in divorce and we didn't have kids, which was the better thing." I said, "And I'm not sure about having kids at this point or not. I really love them, but I'm not sure. We'll see who comes into my life." And I said, "It's interesting. I heard your husband say that he really wasn't interested in taking the paddle boat ride with you. But I'll say if he was, I would have been happy to stay behind and watch your kids for you." She said, "Oh, wow, Katie, that is so sweet of you to express. What a darling you are." And I said, "Well, we're all here on vacation. We need to make the best of it." So about half an hour, 45 minutes later, we pedaled back to shore, happy, smiling. And as she got off the boat and we said our goodbyes, I heard her approach her husband, who was looking at me with a stone gaze. And I just glared right back at him. And she said, "Oh, honey, it was so much fun. And you have no idea what Katie told me." And I saw his eyes pop open wide. "Katie said that if you had wanted to come with me on the paddle boat, she would have been happy to watch the kids for us. Isn't that sweet? She's such a great woman." So I waved goodbye and went and sat back with my girlfriends. I cannot begin to tell you how thrilled I was to have given him the scare of his life, because he didn't know me and he didn't know what I could possibly say to his wife about his actions. So I'll say, please share with me in the comments if you think that it was the right thing for me to do in not telling her, or was it wrong and I should have told her. I'll say this, I didn't feel that it was the time or place to share such a very hurtful situation and disrupt their entire family time together. Now, I hope one of two things transpired after that situation for him. One, that he learned his lesson and never again attempted to step outside of their marriage. And two, that he realized that anything can happen at any time. So you better be careful in the choices that you make in life, because you never know who can blow your story. So on that note, again, I'm Katie Slade, author of The Victorious Vagina, How to Beat a Player at His Game and Win at Self-Love. And I do hope, ladies, that you'll take the time to check out the book. It's gotten fantastic 5-star reviews on Amazon, so you don't have to take my word for it when I share that it offers some very valuable self-love tips. So until next time, stay well, be beautiful, and remember, ladies, it's all about self-love. Take care.